Pleasant day to all. So our first topic is all about forms of business organization. My name is Prof. Jojo Pangan, a management professor. So first, let us define what is an organization. So an organization represents a group of people who work together for the achievement of common objective. An organization comes into existence when there are a number of persons in communication and relationship to each other and are willing to contribute towards a common endeavor. Like a business responsibility is to have transparency. Since all of us are taking up accountancy, transparency is very important in our organization. No? It should be the common objective of all. Since we are future accountants, we always have to go for transparency. No? Transparency means if there's a financial statement, no, we have to write what is really right for the financial statement. So we could not invent figures. We could not just write something that is not that is wrong. No, so we have to be transparent. We have to really be honest in doing our job as future accountants. Okay, so an organization really moves and works towards common objective. No, if our objective is to have clear-cut transparency, it is a must to the organization to have a clear-cut transparency. Okay, so what are the forms of business organization and how do we form a business organization? First, commonly there are three types. There are three forms. One is single proprietorship. We have partnership. And we have corporation. If we look at the picture here, this is a single proprietorship. We have a partnership, partners among with them, and a corporation. No? The 5 to 15 members, these are called the stockholders. Okay, so what is a sole proprietorship? From the word sole means a single, and the word proprietorship means ownership. So meaning to say, it's owned by one individual, no? And that one individual is the owner himself, no, or herself. So the legal business activities which is owned and controlled by individual is called sole proprietorship. No? Again, how do we know that it's legal? No? The legal means that the sole proprietorship, no, should be registered at Security and Exchange Commission. Later, at the end of this, at the end of the topics, no, for forms of business organization, we will be dealing with Security and Exchange Commission. Okay, so the sole proprietorship is the form of business ownership which is owned and controlled by a single individual. No? For example, in Philippine parlance, we notice that there are many sari-sari stores. So definitely the owner, a sole proprietorship, owns the business. No? Owns the business. It is very rightful to have sari-sari store to start up a business. You buy, you sell, and then you have your cash inflow, no, rather than cash outflow. When you spend and spend, if you have a simple sari-sari store, no, you have to keep your money. Keep the money of that sari-sari store. Do not spend it for your own personal use because, no, you have to set aside the money of your store from your personal use so that you will know, no, its cash inflow, whether you are gaining or losing. And of course, if you have a sari-sari store, you have to avoid, no, you have to avoid debts, meaning to say, yung mga nagpapautang, no, tapos meron namang makupad na hindi nagbabayad, so mahirap po ng ganyan, no? So dapat po, wag magpautang. No, wag magpautang. Magpautang lang kung nakikita natin yung character at saka capacity, no? We call it in finance as the 5 C's, no? Character, capacity, no? Those are the two major, no? Got to know the character of the person. Capacity, dapat po makapagbayad, no? May capacity, may work po yung nagbabaro po sa atin, no? So even I myself, I also go to store and borrow sometimes, like rice, if I like to avail rice and then pay it at 15-30. But the store, of course, you have to establish relationship with the store, no? And the store also establish relationship with the customer. So knowing the customer, if you happen to have a sari-sari store, so you have to be very careful. So let's take a look with sole proprietorship again, that the sole proprietorship is a single ownership, no? Look at the characteristic. So no sharing of profit and loss. So kung may profit, may loss, walang sharing because single lang siya, single. Or sole, mag-isa lang po siya. So it's one man's capital. So sa kanya lang po ang capital. Unlimited liability. Kasi mag-isa lang po siya, no? Kung nangungutang siya, take a look of his capacity, tingnan yung income niya, no? Tulad ko po noon nung nag-school supply business po ako, tinatanong sa akin ng aking supplier, si Mr. Lim, sabi niya, "Jo, magkano ba ang iyong sahod? O, magkano ba yung earnings ninyo sa inyong maliit na store?" So, para magpahiram po siya, kung sabihin mo 5,000 pesos po, yan po ang sahod ko. So, magpapahiram yan siya ng 3,000. Hindi po siya pwedeng magpapahiram ng more than 5,000 kasi malulugi po yung kanyang business rin, no? Less legal formalities, no? Nakapag-register lang siya sa kung sari-sari store sa barangay, sa mga barangay pwedeng mag-rehistro, pwede ring sa city hall, punta po sa mga business licensing permit, no? Para makapag-operate po. So legal and formal na po siya. Tapos kung malaki-laking grocery store na, so kailangan na niya ng mga BIR po. Kukuha na siya ng mga form. Kailangan na niya ng accountant, no? Kayo na po ang tutulong sa kanya sa bookkeeping para makapag-decide po kung magkano yung babayaran na niya income tax, no? Business tax. It's a one-man control. So mag-isa lang po siya. So, yan po ang role ng sole proprietorship, no? So, these are the disadvantage and advantage of sole proprietorship, no? So, maganda to. Merong mga mobile store ngayon, yung meron ngang tinatawag na kadiwa on wheels. Yan, mga kadiwa on wheels. Ito rin po, merong mga burger, kakanin, no? May mga ganyan, burger. So, burger on wheels, yan, no? So, meron siyang pros and cons. Merong advantages and disadvantages. So, how to form a sole proprietorship? It is easy to set up with lower cost. Meron lang kayong amount of 50 to 100,000. Pwede na kayong gumawa ng isang maliit na sari-sari store, no? So no corporate business tax, no annual reports of filings, not registered by formal business structure. So easy recording po in terms of accounting. So ganito po no yung advantage ng sole proprietorship. So punta naman po tayo sa disadvantage. The cons of sole proprietorship, it is unlimited personal liability kasi mag-isa lang po siya. No ongoing business life. But difficult to raise money kasi mag-isa lang po siya, no? So can take on business debt, no? So hindi siya pwedeng mangutang ng sobrang-sobra, no? Halimbawa, yung income ng store niya nasa 20,000 lang, hindi siya pwedeng magbaro sa bangko ng 500,000, no? So it's not appropriate, no? So unprofessional perception. So ganito po. So ito po yung advantage and disadvantage. So how do we form it? So we follow what's in the advantages, no? How to set up our own store, no? So commonly entrepreneur starts at sole proprietorship, no? Even yung Jollibee, no? Si Tony Kakchong, nag-start yan siya sa maliit na push cart. He was selling a little of ice cream, and later when he discovered about burger, so he started selling burger, no? So now they focus on burger, meron silang mga spaghetti, but nandyan pa rin yung kanilang ice cream. Kasi sa ice cream talaga nagsimula si Tony Kaktiong, no? Yung owner po ng Jollibee. Okay, pero ngayon po, corporation na po siya, no? Fremont Cash Corporation kasi he is inviting mga stockholders. Okay? So punta na po tayo sa partnership. So what is the law of partnership? A partnership is voluntary association of two or more persons who contribute money, property, time, care, or skills to carry on as co-owners a lawful business for profits and to share the profits and losses of the business. So, ang magkagandahan po, meron na po siyang tinatawag na business partners, no? Two or more persons. So, the law of partnership. So, maganda na po yung partnership kasi kung merong magandang skills yung isa, halimbawa, magaling po siya sa marketing. So, ikaw yung owner, ikaw yung capitalist, owner. Tapos yung business partner mo, magaling sa marketing skills, magaling mag-market, so business partner po kayo. So to carry on as a lawful business for profit. So you can start your own business partner. Halimbawa po, partnership kayo, tatayo kayo ng 7-Eleven dito sa Zamboanga City. So magandang business po 'yan, no? So kailangan mo talaga ng mga partners, business partners to carry on your objective or profit for business, no? Okay. So this is the definition of partnership, its advantages and disadvantages. It is easy to create and maintain, no? It is flexible and informal. Partner shares profits and losses equally. Kung yung kanina nakikita natin yung sole proprietorship, mag-isa lang po siya. Dito po sa lahat ng mga kita po, lahat ng profits, so they share equally and also the losses. Halimbawa, hindi sila kumita, so kung nag-loss sila, loss din yung isa. So yan yung advantages ng partnership. Ngayon, yung ating disadvantage. Partners are personally liable for all sorts of contracts. Halimbawa, nagkasala yung isang partner niya, no? Instead mag-marketing, no, hindi minarket, no? May vested interest pala siya. So personally liable in all sorts, no? Liable po siya. So it can be only dissolved upon death. Kung namatay yung business partner, nawala na rin yung negosyo. And difficult to raise financing. So ito yung mga disadvantage. Kasi dalawa po sila, limited minsan yung kanilang capitalization, so they have to raise, but still difficult to raise financing. Okay po, no? Okay. Now, what are the types of partnership? Meron tayong tinatawag na general partnership, no? Wherein partners are personally liable for the use of the firm's debts and liabilities. Unlike corporations po, meron silang tinatawag na annual meetings that aren't mandatory. So limited partnership, no? Under limited, at least one partner has unlimited liability. The other partners have limited liability. So limited partnership, no? Kaya nga tinatawag na limited partnership. In terms of liability, no, yung mga losses nila, limited lang po ang kanilang mga losses kasi they both share their liability as partners po. Okay? So, limited liability partnership also, the partner's personal assets can be used to recover debts. They aren't shielded for personal acts. No, kung nagkasala sila yung isa o any fraudulent acts that may cause this other person, no, his personal asset cannot be used to recover the debts. Not unless he shared or she shared contribute those assets to the partner, no? It could be binding when there is a contract, legal contract of each other. Okay? So what's a corporation? What's a corporation? A corporation is a separate legal entity owned by shareholders and guided by a board of directors. So it's a separate legal entity. So the person, the shareholders, is distinct from the corporation. Okay? So the nature of corporations. So this is the definition. A corporation is legal entity, an artificial person. No? Because the stockholders is an artificial person created in accordance with statutes according to law. No? The corporate entity is separate and distinct from the legal personalities of those who own and manage the corporation. So they are distinct from one to the other. Now, take a look of San Miguel. Halimbawa, kayo yung stockholder. No, stockholder kayo. Kung major stockholder kayo, halimbawa, nag-share kayo ng 50% of the stocks. So you could become what? Immediately, you become the board of director. So your person is distinct from the corporation. No? Kung nagkasala yung corporation, wala ka nang pakialam dyan. No? Ang corporation nung nagkasala. Kasi yung as a person, tinatawag ka nga as artificial person. No? You are separate and distinct. Kung may case against the corporation, sa corporation po yan as a whole, not to the person. No? Kasi ang nagtatransact yung corporation mismo. No? Okay po? So, again, no, what's a corporation? A company often with board of directors. Ito yung mga board of directors, no? Maraming mga movies po dati sa ABS-CBN, nakikita natin yung CEO, no, halimbawa, played by a certain actor dito, tapos meron silang board meeting. If this is a sugar mill, no? It operates apart from each owners kasi meron silang board of directors. It is chartered by the state. So, meron silang mga subsidiary companies. Many operate in several different businesses. Tulad po ni Jollibee, hindi lang po sa Jollibee, as Fremont Cash Corporation, meron silang Mang Inasal, meron silang Red Ribbons, nandyan po ang Greenwich sa kanila. So ang dami pong mga subsidiary companies, no? Subsidiary companies. It is separate legal entity from the stockholders, no? So most commonly in UK, it is a state-owned company. Like in the Philippines, we have GSIS, say is a corporation owned by the government. No? San Miguel is private, San Miguel Beer Corporation. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of corporations? Advantages, no? It has limited liability. Your share could be sold to other person. We call it transfer of ownership. It has perpetual life of 50 years because it is again registered in SEC, and corporation operates in 50 years. After 50 years you have to what? Register again, no? Get your license to operate. Okay. Excuse me. External sources of funds. So you could open and share your stocks publicly. No? Open for like Jollibee is open for franchise, no? And they are posting that in newspapers, no? Could be online, no? To raise funds by buying stocks from them, no? Through Philippine Stock Exchange, so that they could expand potentially, no? If you look at Jollibee, is expanding not only in Philippines, but Jollibee is also expanding around the globe. So what is the advantages of the corporate? Double taxation. No? Since, like for example, larger corporation like San Miguel Beer Corporation, San Miguel Beer has double taxation in forming a corporation, no? And it's always they disclose information, yung transparency na sinasabi ko kanina. So if they want to raise funds, their financial statement is open for public, no? So that you could invest, you could be a stockholder like this, no, of a corporation. Employee-owner separation. The employees are actually separate from the business, no. It could be run by anybody. They could hire managers. They have staff with them. They have workers. But the stockholders are the sure owners of the corporation. Now, that all of these forms of business should be registered at Security and Exchange Commission. Sole proprietorship can be partnership and corporation. So all duly forms of business organization like sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporation should be registered to SEC. No, it should be registered to SEC. So this is the logo. This is the Security and Exchange Commission, Republic of the Philippines, since 1936. So why do we need to register the organization like sole, partnership, no, and corporation? So that it may have a legal, it may be called legal entity organization. No? Para po hindi siya illegal, no? Dapat po na marehistro talaga siya sa Security and Exchange Commission. There they could keep their books. They will have an article of incorporation, no, article of partnership. No, this article of incorporation are called the bylaws. No? There's the bylaws, there's the officer. How will they operate as business? That's why it's really a must to register an organization to Security and Exchange Commission. Okay? So thank you very much. So this is my lecture regarding our first topic on the forms of business organization.